Hi, my name is Mike Renato. My good buddy Sean Webb. We're with Athletic Motion Golf. Sean, we've talked a lot about iron swings. We talked a lot about driver swings. There's the club that's in the middle of both of those, right?
Absolutely.
It's a wood, but it's a lot of times sitting on the ground. So let's make today's video about how to hit these clubs more pure. I think there's a lot of confusion about that out there.
Yeah.
And I think we can hopefully help to clear up some of the confusion. Sean, you work with one of maybe the best fairway wood players, certainly of the modern game.
Yeah.
Maybe all time. He's really famous for hitting a hole-in-one with his old famous 5-wood right at the PGA Championship. We're talking about David Toms. What does David say? I know you've picked his brain about this. What does he like to do with fairway woods?
Yeah, and, I've seen him give a lot of clinics, corporate events, and he talks about fairway woods because everyone wants to know about the hole-in-one.
The hole-in-one, right.
And, the couple of the key things he talks about, one would be, making sure you have good rhythm and finish your backswing. I think, you see this ball on the ground with this club with a fairly kind of shallow face without a lot of loft.
Not a lot of loft, right.
And an average player gets a little anxious, a little short with the backswing, and then tries to lift it in the air.
Without question, this is the hardest club in the bag, either 5-wood or 3-wood, for golfers to hit in their bag, right? It's probably one of the hardest clubs that we have in lessons to get golfers to hit well because it's sitting on the ground, you have the least amount of loft, and you've got to get this ball airborne.
Intimidating to look at.
Absolutely. So there's certainly some criteria we need in our golf swing before we start reaching for these lower lofted 3-woods, and in some cases even 5-woods.
Yeah, and don't beat yourself up at first with a 3-wood off the deck. It's the hardest shot. Even tour players have a hard time hitting it solid all the time.
That's right.
Get yourself a 5-wood first.
That's exactly right.
It's not going to hurt you any not to have a 3-wood to try to hit it off the deck right now.
Well, most people don't hit the 3-wood high enough to see 3-wood distance.
And what I see on TrackMan a lot is, depending on the swing speed, they hit the 5-wood longer.
Yes, exactly right.
Because they get the carry. So, that's part of the issue. But let's talk about 5-wood for now. That's what I've got in my hand here. Okay. For all intents and purposes, this one here is a little bit easier to hit. So let's start here. Now, I think let's talk about finishing the swing first and having good rhythm. I hear that a lot, or tempo. I think something that you can do right away to help finish your swing with these clubs is have a good count. And I've heard David say this before. I think he got it from VJ Singh. We've talked about this in another video. What he means by that is almost through the swing having a count that you keep in your head. And the way I think about it is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
So 1 on the bat, 2 at the top, 3 at the hit, 4 in the finish, right? And that 1, 2, 3, 4 starts to give you this nice even rhythm to your swing where you don't 1, 2, which I see a lot of players do.
When you start getting in the lower lofted clubs, like 4 irons, 3 irons, hopefully no one has a 2 iron.
Good Lord,
or 3-woods, 5-woods. The more you rush those swings, the more you're jerky with those swings, the worse they're going to get.
The club's longer, you have to give it more time.
That's right.
Right? So the other benefit of that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 gives you a little time to start cheating the pressure, getting it over to the left where it needs to be in order to, strike down, which is the next thing. Right? I think a lot of players try to scoop up or hit these almost like a driver where they think they need to hit up on them. It's the opposite. So what I hear David say, almost treat them like you're hitting an iron. A slightly downward hit, not like an 8-iron where it'll be 5, 6 down. Maybe just a little bit down where you make a little divot in front of the ball. So,
or just scrape the ground.
Yeah, focus on just scraping the ground or making a tiny divot, and this club is going to act like it's supposed to, and it's going to launch the ball up in the air for you, and you might end up loving your woods instead of leaving them in the bag all the time. Yeah, instead of fearing them. So let me hit a couple shots here just to kind of give them a feel. I'll go down the line here at first. So I'll count in my head as I'm hitting this shot just to give you a sense of what this feels like or what it sounds like in motion, what it looks like. So here we go. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the wind. So it ballooned on me, but I hit it pretty solid. And I feel like I'm not rushing to do that. And it allows me time to feel like I can get the weight to the front foot and brush the ground.
Right, we had the ball sitting up on a little turf tee.
Yeah.
Just banging into the ground, and that's where you want to start with these.
Yeah.
You should be able to clip these off of tees or a turf tee before you just go out there and start driving yourself insane, banging them into the ground.
Yeah, and I'll hit one just off the deck this time. If, let's say I progress where I'm getting really good off a little tiny tee or a turf tee, and see if I can get one clean off of this lie. And it takes a little skill and practice to do this, but you know, again, this is one of the hardest shots, right?
It's the truth detector for your golf swing.
If
your golf swing isn't up to par, right, for hitting these woods, they're going to let you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't have a lot of swing thoughts if you want to be a really good fairway wood player.
Well, and you have to have things in right places, right?
That's
Decent swing playing, good club face. You know, you can get away with a bad swing with a pitching wedge.
Right.
You can aim right, come over the top, you know, drive the club in the ground. You'll get a result. This club, it's not going to happen. So if you're really having a hard time with it, you may have to backtrack a little bit, work on swing playing and some of these other things.
That's exactly right.
But for this one, I'm going to feel like, since it's on the ground, I've got to feel like I'm making a little divot and at least brushing the ground. And if I can do that, got some mud on the face here. If I can do that and make a little brush, I hit that really good and barely nip the turf, so you don't need to drive the club into the ground. Just like Mike said, just a little brush down there. This loft of the club is going to get it up in the air for you.
That's exactly right. So we want to make sure we give the swing enough time to complete. We don't want to be quick and jerky and snappy with these woods. These got graphite shafts in them. They're really flexible, and you're going to really pay the price down here by the ball. Then the next thing we want to do is make sure we're coming into impact with the right amount of swing shape, not trying to pick the ball up in the air, that just slight descending blow, so we can take advantage of all this spring-like effect that are now in these clubs and really launch this ball. And if that's difficult for you to do with a 15-degree or even 13-degree 3-wood, do not be afraid to loft up, because you're going to hit the ball farther, because the ball's going to stay in the air longer.
Yeah, and I think just a simple drill you could do even at home. You know, I've given this drill a lot over the years, especially to people, you know, not just beginners, but people who struggle with the longer clubs off the ground. I'll have them put a tee on the ground, but don't tee it up, lay it down. And then I'll have them make their swing and see if they can nip that tee into the air, right? So that's a really good way to see if you can get the bottom of your swing in the right point without doing it this way, right? Because that would drive a tee in the ground. If you can clip that tee, you do that 20 times a day in your backyard, just get used to that motion, this club just barely brushing. It's going to pay dividends when you get on the golf course.
You got to get used to looking at this very little loft and then coming to grips with, okay, I'm going to swing slightly with a descending blow. That's going to get the ball off the turf, rather than trying to make the ball go up in the air. You're going to get the opposite effect. It's going to drive it down.
So those are the two easiest, most simple keys we can think of here for getting your fairway woods to get on track.
Yes.
Good rhythm, finish the swing. Treat it like a little bit of an iron where you strike down slightly or very level and nip the turf. The club, we've heard again, the club will do the work.
Yes.
If you present it to the ground and the ball in the correct manner.
And go and watch our swing plane videos, because that's going to be your absolute life draft for hitting these clubs well. You cannot be steep and over the top and expect to be a good fairway wood player. So make sure your swing is shallow enough and on plane enough to really take advantage of this fine design that we have in these clubs today. These aren't scripted, right?
Yep.
So as it would happen, we didn't give you guys the drill. We gave you a little bit of a drill. We want to give you the full progression of that drill now. So we're going to roll the cameras again, show you the drill and what to work on with these fairway woods. So what we're going to do is take that tee drill and we're going to set it down again. So Sean was explaining how you just should be able to really launch this tee in the air with it laying on the ground. That's going to make sure you have the right descending blow.
And the right height when you come in.
That's exactly right. This club's going to be lower to the ground coming in, getting that tee airborne. Now the progression for that is to now add a ball to the equation. I'm just going to set a ball right up to the tee, and he's going to do the same. His goal is still to get that tee airborne. Only now is going to be a ball between his club and the tee, and we're going to do that. So let's see if Sean can put this to practice here.
All right.
Again, we're going to use the turf tee.
Yeah, just at first until you work on it. So, you know, like I said a minute ago, yeah, you want to hit down slightly, but you have to be hitting down from the right spot. If you're way up here hitting down, that doesn't do you any good. This club has to be the right height from the ground as it comes in. So this is another kind of litmus test. If you can't get this tee in the air, you need to go back to work without the ball and use just the tee.
That's exactly right.
So I'm going to take a couple practice swings. I'm not going to try to hit this ball hard. I'm gonna take a couple practice swings, just see if I can get the club to bottom out in the right spot, right?
Which is the key point here.
Yeah, and then I've given this drill to people who 100% could not hit a fairway wood. I told them focus on hitting the tee, not so much the ball, and immediately they start flushing these things. So this is a great one. If if you have trouble with fairway wood. So I'm just gonna kind of smooth it out there, see if I can take the ball on the tee out. I hit it really solid.
Tee went off the tee box, ball went nice and high and drawing.
I hit that solid.
And that's pretty much it. So start with the tee by itself, right? Be able to get a good tee ball with your fairway wood. Then introduce the ball, still trying to do the tee. And it'll really start to train the brain to mind on what to expect and what to accomplish when you got these fairway woods in your hands. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like. Also, let us know about if there's content that you want us to make that's specific to your swing. Right? You have the most important swing in golf, and we want to make videos to help you play better golf. So leave us comments down below about this video or about something that we haven't made yet that you want to see. Also, don't forget to subscribe. That'll give you notifications just as soon as new videos come out. If you haven't gotten our free distance video yet, click on the first pinned comment below this video. You'll see a link there. Click on that. That'll take you to a page where you can enter your name, email, and we'll send you a free distance video so you can add more distance to your swing instantly, right straight to your inbox.